Hello and welcome to another episode of the LendAPI Partner Podcast. Today, my guest is Justin Chi, who is co-founder of Cold Email Hackers. Welcome to the podcast, Justin.
Hey, how's it going? Love LendAPI. I've known Tim for quite some time, so it's nice to be talking with the team.
Well, welcome on the podcast. Can you tell us, Justin, how did the Cold Email Hackers get started?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. So I was doing SDR work for some time and I was working at ZoomInfo. It kind of started as a side hustle, right? Like I was reaching out to sales and marketing leaders, and ultimately what happened was some of them were asking me to run their emails for them because I was one of the number one SDRs, like ranged between top one, top two, top three SDRs at ZoomInfo. So the emails I was sending, the was very targeted. People liked what I had to say, and sales and marketing leaders just asked if I can do their email for them. So that's how the company was started. And we went full time with it after, just kind of decided like, hey, I want to run with this. And yeah, that's pretty much how this came to be.
So you were doing it already yourself, and then you said, "Hey, this is actually a business.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly. Just
start a business
turn into a
and do it
business and
yourself."
then
Yeah, yeah.
kind of fell into
So,
it.
what is the number one use case? You talked a little bit about it, but what's the number one use case that you solve for your customer?
Yeah, it's mostly just lead generation. Every business needs more leads, and we help them get more sales calls. That's pretty much it.
And you help do the outreach through a platform, or how does it work?
Yeah, we have several platforms. We're more of a service rather than a software, but we just piece together a bunch of different things. Like we have Google inboxes, we buy hundreds of inboxes, we send the emails, we use AI to personalize, and we just do everything for our customers. So they're not having to kind of sit there, manage anything. We just book the meetings directly on your calendar. It's very straightforward.
Like you said, everyone can use more leads, right?
Exactly.
There's no one that's going to say no to that,
Yep.
and someone doing that for you saves a lot of time. So I
Exactly.
think that is a very clear use case. Now, can you tell me a favorite customer story?
Yeah, favorite customer story, I would say is whenever a customer does well with us, right? Like I think some customers, if we're being frank, especially early on when I was kind of newer to this, I didn't do a great job of client selection. So sometimes, we'd send a bunch of leads, they wouldn't close many of the leads, and that's never to have happen. But I would say for us, especially now when we're choosing customers, we turn away a lot of people, but the best is just when I hear about customers, we send them 100 leads, they close like 20, 30 of them. And that's just across the board, I would say. So there's no particular favorite in this case.
And so for people watching and listening, like what are the type of businesses that you can work with really well?
Any sort of B2B company, really, as long as you sell B2B services, B2B software, B2B products, we can work with you. We don't do as well with IT and cybersecurity companies, mostly
Mhm.
due to knowledge gap on my side, right? Like we're a small company and it's just not our area of expertise, but pretty much any B2B service.
Okay. So anywhere where you don't have to have deep knowledge, but it is all about the way that you reach out, and I assume some persistency is important as well, and doing that and making sure that that's streamlined.
Exactly.
Now, what's the best reaction you've ever gotten to an outreach that you've done?
I mean, people get upset all the time, right? They'll tell us to go away, whatever. I would say funniest, we've had someone like just blow up our phone, but
Right.
nothing
Okay.
nothing sticks out too much to me.
And so you talked a little bit about it, but maybe tell me a little bit more about kind of like what is a good ratio? What is a good expectation? Because obviously, if I hire someone to do outreach for me, maybe there are some people out there that are unrealistic about what they can expect. You mentioned some numbers, but what should people expect when they engage with you?
Yeah, I would say if you have a dialed in offer that's been tested on cold traffic, like you have the risk reversals, you have something that's enticing to cold traffic, you can get about a 1 in 200 booking rate. So 200 emails sent or 200 contacts reached, resulting in one meeting booked. That's a pretty good ratio. For a lot of customers where they don't necessarily want to give risk reversals, they don't necessarily want to, optimize their offer for cold outreach. I mean, it ranges. I would say typically 1 in 600 to 1 in 2,000, depending on the customer.
Okay. So those are significant numbers, which I think also explains why it's helpful to have you do it for them. This is
Yeah,
not something I can do by myself. If I have to send out 200 emails every day, I get to do nothing else. So that's the value that you bring to the equation.
for sure. And it's like, for the customers who do listen, right? Because some don't want to optimize their offer. They don't want to really offer risk reversals, which is
Yeah.
understandable. But for customers
Yeah.
who are willing to work with us on the offer, like we do get great results.
Well, I think that is a good place to wrap this up. Thank you very much, Justin, for being on the podcast today.
Likewise, it was great to be here.
And until next time on the LendAPI Partner Podcast.
There we go.